Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we do not have a quorum today, but we're going to go through our agenda. So we won't be taking any actions on any items. So we can start off with public comments. Anybody have public comments? So, anybody in them?
Oh, I can see Ryan Lau.
I wanted to share a couple of events at the farm. Can you all hear me online? Just in case you aren't here at the end of the meeting. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So at the North Richmond Farm, this week you can come. There's a community build day. It's actually from tomorrow until the 10th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you can. We're in phase 2 of the construction. And one of these buildings are going to custom made, and some of them are going to have play and straw, so you can come and help build just find out how to build the straw and clay, and you can come and help build. Yeah, so Healthy Homes is going to be there to instruct us. This week you can also come and get free flowers, so moms, grandmas, aunties, caregivers. On Friday from 9 to 3. Also on Friday, there's going to be a workshop. If you have a small growing area and you want to come and learn about soil and the 2-hand tractor, you can come for that on Friday. And also this month, the applications are open for the summer youth apprenticeship, and that's ages 15 to 19. So that you can, the applications are open. I think they close May 24. So basically the apprentice, they work is like 100 hours over the summer, and their stipend is 1,500 at the end of that, at the end. Yeah, those are my announcements. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question? Is a 2-handed tractor the same thing as like a rototiller?
I'm going to get to learn myself, so,
Okay.
but if you look at the pictures, they're, it's so small, but if you scan that, you might be able to do that. So there's, from the North Richmond, there's gonna be North Richmond Farm, but there are gonna be a couple other instructors that aren't at the farm, so we'll welcome you and enjoy it, you guys.
Thank you. Ryan?
Go ahead, Brian.
Good evening, North Richmond MAC members and members of the public. My name is Ryan Lau, External Affairs Representative at AC Transit, here to provide an update on our Realign initiative. I was there quite some time ago now, actually. Just as a reminder, Realign is a review and update of our entire bus network, working within our existing operator count and budgetary resources, aimed at meeting the needs of our riders in the post-pandemic era. So we're about to unveil a new phase of outreach, which will formally start May 15th and run through June 5th. So I encourage you to review what we have available, what we're proposing. We actually are just about to go live with some information in the interim. It's not going to be our full-fledged all of our materials, but by the end of the week, we should have basically a matrix with the proposed route changes. Eventually, when the actual formal window starts, we'll have like a trip planner so you can better understand how it's going to affect you in your daily life. So look out for that. We're going to be going around the service area as we did last time, making announcements at MACs like this, as well as city council meetings, as well as various community events. And then we're going to have ambassadors at bus stops doing outreach as well, all the way through June 5th. If you're interested in attending a meeting and learning more about what exactly we're proposing and ask questions and provide feedback and that sort of thing, May 23rd at 6 p.m. we have a virtual workshop And then June 5th, we have a board workshop at 5 p.m., which is hybrid, so either remote or in person at the downtown Oakland general offices. We'll also be doing, we'll have route profile booklets. So basically a physical copy of all of our proposals at various libraries throughout the service area. So those of you that as comfortable digital setting, you always go out to a library and review that material. And then, so just in summation, we're going to be opening our public public hearing process, the formal public hearing process in August, and then concluding that in September 2024 with a board decision in October. And then we're planning to implement the service changes in March of 2025. That's all I have. And the URL is actransit.org/realign. That's REALIGN. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your time.
Any other comments on Zoom? Not, we have some more. Go ahead, Laura.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gloria Lopez. Some people call me Gloria, so welcome to Zeta. I don't know if everyone's received communication about the construction that's going to be going on the other side of Verde Elementary by Central Point Construction Company. We're going to be having a community meeting on the 16th. So that's next Thursday. And let me just confirm. They got me 16 at 4:30, from 4:30 to 6 p.m. There's going to be food provided and childcare as well. So we're really encouraging everyone to show up. It's a really important meeting to talk about like the impact that construction is going to have on our community, seeing how it's right next to Verde Elementary and the garden, and it's going to be involving some toxic soil that's going to be disturbed. So it's important for anyone who can to come in and join us so we can listen to the information that's going to be provided, but also maybe we can have some input and maybe we can also speak to one another about our thoughts.
Can I have documents? Regarding to that, in the meeting, past meeting, we have postcards in, but again, this time, they didn't send those postcards to everybody. So some people that live, I think on First Street, lives there, she didn't get the postcard. So I don't know how can we do to reach more people or to let people know about.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point because I think often, and I'll say often because there's been several things that have happened in the community that I know not everyone has received that communication. I'm not sure how we can kind of fix that, or if that's something that we like to talk about, or how we can go about that. But I do see that as an issue and we do need to correct it. I think that that's probably also one of the reasons why sometimes we don't see so much involvement, and oftentimes it could be because they're not receiving, you know, the information of the communication.
Yeah, we should probably cross communicate, because they come here before as well. You know, you guys are aware of that as well, so we have to make sure I don't know, you wanna talk about that?
Yeah, I think I can let our DTSC point person know today, like during the meeting, and see if there's a possibility they can send out like a last mailer, maybe early next week, you know, to everyone. You know, and I'll check in with Kalu, because I know he has a really great list, you know, because sometimes the list don't include apartments, so that has been an issue in the past, you know, so we've had to like finesse the list a little bit to make sure it's getting to everyone and not just homeowners and stuff. So I can make that request and say that the North Richmond MAC and North Richmond residents have made that request to send out one more mailer that reaches a wider service area, because not everyone's getting the information.
Yeah.
And, this is a suggestion, you can add volunteers, if they would go out and put them out, I'll be the first volunteer.
Yeah, oh, that's great. So maybe that'll be a second request, sorry, Latifa.
I think what they said is I don't think it's a good practice, but I think what they said is they send it to a certain, radius around, the project area.
Yeah. I think that's something we spoke to, like the Senate people about at some of the meetings that we've had also after a day with them. About that radius and about expanding that, because although they are in a way covering, you know, themselves by sending it to a certain radius, not everyone is receiving that, and it could literally be like your next neighbor, you know, it's not getting that information, so.
Yeah, and I know we also have like an important event this Saturday. You know, we have the cleanup. The Willie Spears cleanup, where you get to throw trash, and I know that's very popular, you know, so maybe another request is if they can deliver flyers to our office, and then I can distribute to people who volunteered, and then also to Kalu, and see if that could be part of what they distribute, you know, to the cars while they're waiting to throw their trash. That might be like a way to get it out.
All right, any other public comment? Okay, going to move on to law enforcement. I see Sheriff's Department.
Good evening. My name is Deputy Aaron Sakai, Sheriff's Office. I've been here quite a few different meetings now. So some good news to start off with the Willie Spears cleanup. I'm gonna be starting roughly around midnight and working until about 10 a.m. the following Saturday morning. And we're gonna be basically doing enforcement with regards to the designated sites where they're supposed to be dumping at. So last year I caught 2 different people. They were issued both citations for illegal dumping prior to the dumpsters being present. So you please do not do that. I'm gonna have a crew out there. We're gonna be circulating around, not just doing that, but we're also looking for other criminal activity. But that is gonna be at least on technically Saturday morning. That's gonna be my primary focus. With regards to criminal activity last month in North Richmond, we had one recovered stolen vehicle, a reported stolen vehicle, 1 DV incident, and a petty theft, and we also had 3 vandalisms. Vandalisms were actually, one of them was related to an AT&T cable copper theft attempt over there on West Gertrude. Actually, I was present. With one of my trainees, we made an arrest. There were 3 suspects, 2 got away. We did make one, make an arrest for that. The other 2 were, I think one of them was the damaged gate over here in front of this center, and then there was another, and then the apartment complex, I'm sorry, in the senior apartment complex, there was a member that was actually put on a hold, and they had created damage inside the senior apartment complex. Regarding street sweeping, sorry. So last month we did enforcement last month. You didn't notice, you didn't get a parking citation, you will. Last month, we issued 146 parking citations in 2 days. We towed 8 cars. If your car is expired technically more than 6 months per the penal code 22651 Ocean 1 Adam, we could tow your car if it's expired more than 6 months and it's sitting on county road property. Now, and because I led these events, I said, hey, if the residents are nearby, if the car is under a year, let's try to at least give them a friendly knock to say, hey, you need to get your car off the road or get this fixed. But anything that was beyond a year, we're towing. And that's gonna be a lot more, we're gonna be doing that a lot more moving forward. The goal is to be doing the street sweeping enforcement at least once a month. We'll try, at least 1 time a month. So we're not gonna tell you which days, we're not gonna tell you which streets, we're just gonna appear. So you see the cop cars show up, a bunch of us, don't know what we're doing. And then also I noticed, I know with Union Pacific, they did a huge cleanup there the last couple of days over there behind Brookside, behind Verde Elementary School. They did a large cleanup. A lot of transients, a lot of homeless in there. It's completely cleared out now. All homeless people behind Verde cleared out now. I think they're migrating to, I'm not exactly sure where they're migrating to, but I know we had SOS out there and I know we had CORE out there too. But Union Pacific PD was out there as of last couple of days. And then, yep, that's basically it. Do you have any questions? Yep.
I don't have regarding the street sweeper, I mean, it's really nice to see the street get swept. One thing that I have, noticed, to start looking and, whoever did it, I have my car, when the street sweeper came, I moved my car back, so, my neighbor let me know that you were ticketing after the street sweeper passed. I understand that it's 13 hours, but I don't think that if there would be a chance to pass ticketing before, so it will, benefit more us if you pass before, so people, maybe move the car.
Yeah, so that's kind of hard to predict, right? Because the street sweeper, we don't know when they're gonna come out there. Says between these hours.
Because at one point, is this more like a birthday, so I know a senior that was traveling, and he got a ticket, so, I mean, it's like, and the other thing is, that the streets are not the same here, so to move our cars and leave them like far from where we live, somewhere that is getting another thing that there is some spots that is parking space is very a challenge here sometimes in some spaces.
Mhm.
So is there any way that we could figure it out, like, how can we do that? I mean, honestly.
Well, you're asking me to predict, a moving target. Right? Because I can't predict when the street sweeper is gonna be present, what streets are gonna be going down. Technically, it's a block of hours, it's 4 hours out of the entire day, right? And it happens twice a month, so it's a total of 8 hours a month. So all we're asking you to do is have your car on the opposite side of the street or park somewhere else, not where the side of the street sweepers are gonna be on. And that's unfortunate, I'm sorry that the street sweeper had gone by prior and then the cars moved back. But technically, the rule states the signs say between 12 and 4. So there's not much we can do. I can't predict that as far as, and then trying to communicate with that. We're not gonna communicate with the street sweeper. We just don't have time for that. It's just me trying to get enough, trying to coordinate enough. You know how hard it was for me to get a team out there? I had to pull some strings.
And it feels like it seems more like a burden to the community, when, people already move the cars and you can see that it's already been there and, because of the parking or the safety of their property, we decided to put it back closer to the yard. I mean, and then like this whole guy, I mean, that's what we brought my house, like, this guy is having a really hard time and I saw that. I think it is like.
I think he heard your point. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just felt the comments has always been one of the most advocated persons and advocating for street sweeping. We have to understand, just like the officer just said, it's a 4-hour time slot. And as I said previously, this is the only community that I know of that does not enforce it. And now we enforcement, not that hard to leave your car where this park for 4 hours. Every other community, they don't have no ifs, ands, or buts about anybody getting a ticket. I know it can be inconsiderate, but we advocated so many years to get street sweeping out of here, and now that it's being enforced, we're still trying to ask to have a little leeway. There's no more time for leeway. The sign's been up over at least the last 7 years now. So I understand the insensitivity as far as seniors, there's not being enough parking, but you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, there is another thing that, it was, passed by ticketing, and then on this side of the street, there is one of the super signs that is covered with a backpack, and I think no one knows that. It's the, on Fourth Street, near Market.
Any other questions? Oh,
This is not related to anything you just spoke about, but it is related to, a meeting that we've had with some of your officers that come out to Verde, on some Fridays,
Okay.
back in like November, or December.
Mhm.
There was a request made out to you guys to, see about installing stop signs at Fifth and Sixth Street, possibly Fourth. Because those are the streets where everyone is driving to take their kids to school. And there's been many occasions where cars are almost crashing into each other because they're like rushing or something to going, to go to school, which obviously, they need to be more careful, but that's why there's street signs and signal lights to help us human beings, get along. But I haven't heard anything back on where that is, like on your guys' side. Liz,
That's
you can
not,
check.
yeah, so that, for as far as sheriff's office goes, that doesn't land on us, it lands on the county.
Okay, well, it's because
Yeah.
one of the officers said, oh, we're gonna look into that and get back to you, so that's why I thought.
Oh, well, they shouldn't have said that, they should have said, it doesn't land on,
Like,
it's the county.
Can someone maybe
Yeah.
later direct me?
I could help, and I know we did do, like improvements along Alameda, you know, we, repainted, we installed a stop sign on Grove and like across in Alameda. Did a couple of things along the way, and we had our like civil engineer traffic, you know, go out and walk with us, and those were his recommendations, but we can, I can ask him for the report, you know, for that, and then also add, you know, your recommendations and stuff, and maybe I can touch base with you so you can, you know, maybe we'll have a map and you'll show me like where you want these improvements, and then send it to him, and then maybe we can meet with him so he can explain, the process.
No, behind.
This came up before and I suggested crossing guards.
I'd let those go down.
I don't understand why that's not a thing. Cause I know I was right there and I'm willing to volunteer and I know a lot of the neighbors are home during the week. So it wouldn't be that difficult to find crossing guards during the time the kids are in school. So, I mean, that's an option if the
Yeah, I
stop
think-
signs don't go in soon enough.
Yeah, and I think that's great, like for the kids who are like walking to school. I think this particular, I guess, issue is more for the vehicles that are driving into each other, you know? So it's like when someone is.
People just need to learn how to drive.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's a, you need to learn how to drive thing, but when it comes to
Yeah.
kids, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that's why, you know, like we have other traffic, you know, accommodations for society, right? Because, if there was nothing, then people might not be good drivers. And, so we see that, and I do understand that. And we're constantly reminding our parents too, so they're going into the actual parking lot, be careful not to go fast. But I think it's more on those outside, streets that are near the school, that isn't the direct, like, you know, Nika Street. Where we see more of like the, you know, drivers not being necessary. But I do think that's great.
Any more questions? So, sure.
Yes, I have a question for you. So for the unhoused people, you said that they migrated and you mentioned SOS. So is SOS an organization that finds housing, or they
They-
migrated, where they go?
Correct, they're supposed to be, they're a nonprofit organization designed to help the unhoused with trying to find housing, find jobs as well. But for those that don't want to go or don't want the help, can't help those that don't want to help.
Anything, nobody in the Zoom? Have a question? No?
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I don't see anybody from highway patrol or from Richmond. And, I think, item 5 is delayed, right? It's
Yeah, for next month.
next month. And do we have a presentation for local hazard mitigation plan?
Yes, that's Michelle.
Okay.
So are you ready for the
Yes.
local hazard mitigation plan presentation?
Yes.
So it will be Jennifer, I believe you're starting, right?
I am. My apologies. I didn't hear my cue. I thought there was something else going on. Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Cannon. I'm with the Contra Costa County Office of Emergency Services, and I'm here with Michelle. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Michelle Mancuso, and I'm with the Contra Costa County Flood Control and Water Conservation District.
Awesome. And we are here together to discuss the local hazard mitigation plan. Would it be all right if I shared a screen with you guys? All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so the local hazard mitigation plan is a 5-year plan that discusses the main hazards that have been identified in the county and mitigation efforts that are planned for the future. So this isn't a response plan. It's not a prevention plan. This is a little bit different. And what we're asking today is for public comment on the plan as it's as it's being drafted. I dropped the link in the chat, but we'll discuss it a little bit further as we go along. So we'll talk about the hazards. We've got a little bit of preparation information for you guys as community members, and then how you guys can help us at this point in the process. So the local hazard mitigation plan, like I said, it's a 5-year plan for the entire county. But the reason Michelle is here with me is because the special districts, the cities, all of the jurisdiction, not all of, several of the jurisdictions within the county have their own annex to the plan. And we collectively need it to be a successful endeavor at each step of this process, so that we can get it accepted by Cal OES and by FEMA, and then it can be our county plan. So we've got 40 partners that are in on this with us, 16 cities, 20 special districts. Several county departments have been supporting us throughout this process. It's a very big deal, and a great thing moving forward for the county. So as we're discussing these hazards and then identifying mitigation strategies, which the jurisdictions have already established for this time, we are asking for public feedback. It's gonna become more of a living document. So community feedback really helps us identify which hazards are most important, and also the mitigation strategies that should be prioritized throughout the county. So we are asking for that feedback, and the drafts are online. Just to put a little bit of perspective on it, here's a map of our whole country. And as you can see, in 2023, we had a lot of major disasters, a lot of impact across the country. The biggest one for here in our county was the storms last year. We were able to get public assistance from FEMA, but that was a big effort, largely in part by our old LHMP plan that allowed us to even be eligible for the funding at all. So this is a very impactful plan for the county. So I've got a list of the countywide hazards you'll see when you pull up the LHMP link off of our website. The main three, the top 3 hazards for the whole county are wildfire, earthquake, and flood. And we have all the others listed because as mitigation projects come up, we need them to be classified so that they qualify for whatever grant is being applied for. Or if this damage occurs by a major disaster, we're already on our way to being covered in the process that is the FEMA reimbursement. And actually, I'm gonna scoot it back up for a sec. I'm gonna kick it over to Michelle so that she can kind of catch you guys up on her part of on her annex.
Right. So thank you for having me. So as Jennifer listed, these are the various natural disasters that could be possible in the area. On a flood control perspective, the Wildcat and San Pablo areas were studied in 2017, and they're monitored, and it's not a high risk, but this is something that we are aware of, that if there was heavy rainfall, of course, that could lead to flooding in various areas of the county. And okay, moving to the next one. So the next part that's really important is making people aware of how to prepare for disasters. And there's 3 main things. One is just learning and understanding what potential hazards are in your area. Second one is to put together a preparedness kit that would be for all the members of your household and pets. Think about what you need on a daily basis. And then practice your emergency plan and update your kits twice a year.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. So we always want to provide those kind of preparation reminders to everybody when we can. So our major ask today is to read the plan. It is very long, but there's a table of contents. You can find the like your area. You can do like a Richmond search and see the specifications that Richmond and North Richmond are unincorporated areas, obviously, that are being affected over there. If you're in an area that you're more concerned about wildfire, you can pull up the wildfire section, pull up Michelle's plan also, or check that out, the flood part of the plan. Whatever is interesting to you or something you want to read up on or find out a little bit more of information on, please check those sections. We definitely are not asking everybody to read every page of the entire plan. It is very, very long. But we do need that public comment to get this approved through Cal OES and FEMA. So if you have any questions, I put my team's email in the chat. There's also a link to it right there. And this QR code goes to the same thing. It's this website right here. So please check out the plan, learn the hazards in your area, give us some feedback on the plan so that as we revise it, it's much more of a living document now. So it will be constantly revised, even though it is a 5-year plan. So if anybody has any questions, I can take questions. Otherwise, that's what we got for you guys.
I went to the link that is shared to look at the plan, the county website, the local hazard mitigation plan website, and there's special districts, and I see like Bethel Island and Kensington and a whole bunch of other communities, but like I can't find North Richmond. Is there supposed to be a North Richmond like special district?
No, so North Richmond is unincorporated area of the county. So North Richmond falls under the county plan, the one right in the center. Those special districts that you're seeing are like irrigation districts or water districts or some other sort of special district that we have in the county. So North Richmond specifically falls under the LHMP Volume 1.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. We're going to move now to Richmond Field Assessment.
Yes. I believe Jennifer and someone else for them to. David, is it you? Jennifer, I see that you're not muted, but we can't hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear us or if you're having technical difficulties.
I'm sorry, I can hear you. Was there another question for the LHMP?
My apologies, I was confusing you with the following presentation. But there is actually a question on the chat now that I noticed. Now that you bring it up.
Oh,
I don't know.
I do see it. I don't know what BCDC is.
CDC is the regulatory like body that looks at sea level rise. They're one of two in Contra Costa County. Maybe Michelle can help with this one.
Sure, yeah. This local mitigation plan is done as part of FEMA, so it's a federal agency. BCDC is more local. This flood control portion, so flood control is considered one of the special districts. And so each of the appendices is called an annex, and flood control has an annex. But flood control would be doing analysis based on hydrology within specifically Contra Costa County. That answer your question?
Yeah, no, great. Yeah, thank you. I was just curious to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, moving on to Richmond Field Assessment. Thank you so much for your presentation. And we're gonna move on to the next one. Is anyone here from Richmond Field Assessment?
I would assume it's Marcia. And I don't see her.
Okay. We're gonna move on. If she comes later, then we get it back, but let's go to item 7 and, City of Richmond Community Service Department. Anyone?
I'm with the mobile tool library. I don't have anything special to report. I'll be down at 1401 Fred Jackson Way. We're down there the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of the month. We're a service that provides tools for free to North Richmond residents. So yeah, that's all I've got. Thanks.
And Children's Read Neighborhood Council, I didn't see anybody from there. Did you, Tanya? I didn't see Marina.
No.
And he's not here. Okay, Housing Authority. I don't see anyone here from the Housing Authority. Okay, and Tanya.
I don't have too many updates. My updates would be to encourage people to come to, the event that was shared with the whole BTSC and, Center Point next week. That's gonna be really important. And then, of course, Julie Spears is Saturday, and props to Kalu, because, Earth Day was such a huge success, and it was the first time we came back, to in person, and I think it was such a sweet moment, and it was very lively, so I look forward to next year. And then next, North Richmond MAC meeting, we do have a really packed agenda, so I definitely encourage people to attend, because some of the kind of ongoing topics will finally come to a vote, like around Nanowall and Penske and lighting in North Richmond, and there's a couple other big topics and stuff, so definitely come next month, because the MAC will be doing a lot of voting, and it would be great to get your input on those topics.
Okay. Community Housing Development Corporation, I can just say that we're getting close to start, getting close to our goal of funds to start the grocery store. So we're a little bit away. We got some different sources. So hopefully everything goes well sometime in the next, before the end of the summer. Hopefully we'll be starting that. So that's what we're looking for. The other thing I wanted to say is that anybody looking to buy a house and they're under 80% AMI, you just got award of like $100,000 down payment assistance. So that's huge. I want everybody to know. In fact, if you're interested, let us know right away so we can get you into a house, so, those are my two.
One question, so each individual would get $100,000 down payment for.
Down payment assistance, so it won't be a grant, but slide in second, so you don't have to pay them.
Okay,
It's through a grant from, well, not, it's through a loan through the state of California, it's called California. And basically, it subsidizes what your mortgage would be by that amount.
is it for this area or, and do they have to like own the home for a certain amount of years for this?
Yeah, there's a subsidy restriction, the resale restriction has to be a like type of, person with the same AMI, going forward, yeah.
Okay.
First time home buyers also, is it first time?
It's first time home.
And is it this location, North?
No, it's pretty wide, but we have it here, so we're trying to get as many folks that are here to take advantage of it. I was, hoping it would come right around the time we were doing the scattered sites, but, we got a short fuse on it, so I'm just trying to make sure we get it spin out here, as soon as we can.
And what are the, you mentioned something about a grocery store, where's the location?
Right on the corner of Chesley and Fred Jackson Way.
Okay.
Yeah, I was happy to hear, when Gary Mendy sent out talking about all the funds that were allocated to these different projects, so I actually saw them in Richmond, under the grocery store on here.
Yeah.
Like 500,000. So, I understand there's gonna be a cooperative that's running that, right?
Well, we did an RFQ, and so there are people in the mix that we're doing. Our cooperative is one of the folks that are in it, and we've been working with them as we went through the process, so hopefully we'll have a decision made before we break ground, so we can kind of do everything together on groundbreaking.
And who's making the decision?
We have a group of folks in the community, looking at the different proposals and making recommendations.
And then the vacant lot, one corner, Fred Jackson, church parking lot?
No, Caddy Corner, where it's lot, that's not, you know what Heritage Point is? You guys, a lot before you get there.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
Do we just email you for the home ownership,
Yeah, just send me something, and I'll plug you into, our folks to get it done.
One more question, do you have like, cause right now, I know the interest rates are kind of high, so do you have to, like, be ready to purchase a home now, or we have to?
Well, it's first come, first served,
Okay.
so, that, unfortunately, that's it.
Okay.
But still, if you come and work, we have other down payment plans and that we can support, but, this is, the biggest one we got. So, but we will work with anybody that comes in, and we have, programs, but not to that level.
Awesome. So, I'll go ahead and report, also for CHDC, the Prince St. Senior Family Community Center, continues to provide opportunities, for community members through the food bank, Contra Costa and Solano Brown Bag. We had 753 visitors last month. They also have a host of, programs for the seniors that they hold, throughout the month. So there's definitely a site for people to come to and find activities. Janine also held her official launch to the Contra Costa County Library of Richmond Locker Project. We had some electrical problems with it at the beginning when we first tried to launch it, so they got all that corrected. Had a great program last month. Had a lot of kids come, had the fire department and also police, the sheriff's department come and read to the kids, so it's a great program that day. Our resource center continued to grow. I'll just talk about how many residents they helped last month. They helped over 170 residents last month, so that situation continues to grow. Right now, we're looking to get more programs in the resource center geared towards youth in the teenage range. So we're continuing to look for funding for that piece. For mitigation, I did my patrols, observed my patrols. So RSS does a whole different other thing, when they go out, pick the trash, they log everything and pick up. They continue to do a great job throughout Richmond. So, like I said, my patrols, when I go after they go, I'm looking for trash gathering and things of that nature, and the big things, big items that I see. So what I noticed this month, for my patrols, that trash accounted for 49% of all the things I collected. And, that was like a 67% increase. So even though our infractions didn't go up from March to April, it was 87 in March, 88 in April. It was still a 67% increase from March to April for trash. The next biggest one was 24% tires, 24% of the trash was tires. A lot of that accounts for our mitigation team is constantly dealing with the tire piece. Jose from environmental health. What happens is they steal the tires, they take the rims, and they get about $16 for each rim, and the tires end up all around North Richmond. So I know Jose and his group just shut down one of the tire depots around here. So hopefully that will help alleviate some of the issues with tires that we're having. But that was like a 60% increase from March to April. So the tires are also went on call with SOS before to just do outreach to the house on the train tracks right behind Marquette Creek. And it was very eye-opening. I was happy to see that young house was willing to talk to me before and from SOS. And I talked to several people, and they are looking for resources for housing and things of that nature. So I was glad that SOS and Core has really kind of picked up their outreach piece, because part of our job, along with the sheriff deputy and code enforcement, you know, we're trying to keep Richmond clean, and part of our job sometimes we have to deal with the unhoused. So we try to coordinate the Core and SOS to make sure that they're involved in that piece. But it was a great one. Last month we also had the birthday festival, as Connie mentioned. Everything went very well. We had a couple of cleanups, one at Wildcat Creek, the restoration cleanup, and we had a whole park planning. And then everything else took place at Shields Reed Park. We had petting zoo for the kids. We had pony ride, jumper. So we had a bunch of activities just to try to get our residents out of the house to come and join the party. So we continue to try to grow that each year. Me and Tanya have a couple plans for next year, so we're working on that piece now. And hopefully we can just get more and more residents involved, taking an active role and cleaning up their thing to help pick up trash in their community. So also this week, my next project that I'm working on is the Willie Spears Community Cleanup. That is this weekend. So we're getting the word out, doing a lot of outreach, going to some of the food banks and that's in the local area, handing out flyers also. So we're doing as much outreach as possible to try to get as many patrons out to, you know, use this resource that's available for them. And hopefully, normally we get a very good turnout, so I'm looking for a big turnout right now. And I'm also working with Shields Reed to help some of the troubled youth in there. So I'm trying to get them on my Holy Spirit's committee to we're actually working today. So I'm just kind of working with different groups, trying to help out as much as possible. And lastly, I have a Community Awareness Day for CHTC. We're doing Community Awareness Day next month. That'll be June 7th. It'll be at 1535 Jackson Way. It's for all the community to come out, celebrate with us. We'll have music, food, resources, small job fair, and also a health fair. So come out and celebrate with us. And like I said, it'll be next month on June 7th. Oh, lastly, one thing that our group has been talking about, myself, Janine, really just talking about the program, what we can do to enhance that piece. So we kind of partnered with some of the departments. Janine went this outreach to the departments. We went from having like 1 to maybe 2 a month to last month she had 25. So, and she continues to get innovative vouchers that the community now is really aware of. Yeah. So, we're going to continue to push that program as much as possible. And hopefully we can continue to have success.
Also kudos on the resource center.
Now,
'Cause kudos on the resource
Oh.
center, cause I know I've seen it, like, the participation grow over the time, and you've hit like a new record last month of
Yeah.
serving like 170 people or something like that, which is huge, and you know, I think sometimes we don't realize how much this is needed until it's like built and open, and you have the doors open consistently. It really makes a difference, you know?
yes, it does. And like I said, we're trying to find some funding so we can get some programs for teens right now too. So that's a big push for us. Yeah.
And on the resource center, I mean, thank you very much to all who worked really hard to get it. I mean, my kid benefits and, you know, I've been assisting to some of the getting there. And I think these are really nice place that we have. I mean, we need to let people know that we're gonna have. And we are blessed and really take advantage and take care of the place. Thank you for doing the work and I'm excited for the store.
And I want to thank you guys for coming to those meetings too. Your input is needed, when we talk about litigation, what we're trying to do. And, a lot of times you don't see what the sheriff's or code enforcement is doing. So you guys being part of that meeting, means a lot to us. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, so Cooperation Richmond is a cooperative incubator in Richmond, in which we basically help residents develop and launch cooperative entities. Cooperative entity, all it means is that it's an entity that seeks to serve its members. And, you know, the members who are in ownership of this entity reap the benefits and, you know, share the responsibilities amongst each other. And so a business could be a cooperative, owning a home could be a cooperative, so many things, right? And so that's kind of what we do at Cooperation Richmond. We have been working with, the Resource Center to see how we can, partner with them to provide our services there to help folks own businesses. Also as well, we were one of the applicants for the RFP for the grocery store to build a cooperative model there where all the workers will then be in ownership of the business. So that's kind of what we do. We've launched our co-op cafe, so, and we have office hours, so, you know, anyone who is seeking to open a business, or develop and launch a cooperative entity, we have office hours and our events are coming up. So I'll share that with everyone.
Thank you. Urban Tip.
Thank you, Princess. Well, did a couple of things. So they, you hosted us, well, we have the, construction company here, Earthbound Building, Cooperation Richmond hosted us. So the guys that were here doing the construction, they were a construction cooperative. And so they held a workshop at Cooperation Richmond to share on how you can help, if you're interested in construction positions or having a construction cooperative. So we're appreciative for that. There's something else you said, but yeah, we appreciate being hosted for that. And then, in March, so we were really happy with the work that Earthbound Building did. They came, the custom building that they're doing on these particular buildings are really awesome. I hope that you all will come out this week, and participate in, whether you're picking up flowers or attending the two-hand, tractor workshop or, doing the play building. Yeah, so we had a lot going on there. We had a really nice, milestone celebration of, just to celebrate where we are right now. And we expect to have like a ribbon cutting for this particular phase in early October, so look out for that. And like I said, right now, the applications are open for an apprenticeship, the summer apprenticeship. It's an annual apprenticeship. I believe it starts in July and ends in August. So the first week is orientation. There's also like a week camping trip in there. So there are like 4 weeks of instruction. The first week is orientation, 4 weeks of instruction, then the last week is the campus trip and the graduation. So again, it's ages 15 and 19, and the stipend for the participants are $1,500. Yeah.
I think we have reached the end. Thank you everybody so much, and we'll see you next month. Good job.
How's it going?